Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin. Times in wrestling that pissed me off, Redux. For those that are familiar with my channel and those that have been following it pretty much since the beginning, but at least for the last 2 years, you may remember a Times in Wrestling that pissed me off series that I did back when I was still taking my videos from a Ustream account and putting them on my YouTube page. Problem is, because of software issues and everything, and you know how both streaming services record things, the audio and video weren't always synced up. People love the rants and still watch them, or at least listen to them. I mean, it's hard to watch them when everything's, glitchy because of how everything uploaded and transferred. But with this, I decided to redux it, just redo it, because there's been some stuff that's happened the past couple years, especially in 2017 in WWE, that was absolute shit. Now, there's plenty of good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm a passionate wrestling fan. I love wrestling. I love wrestling from all across. Impact and whatever. Wishing the best, but I just can't watch Impact anymore. You guys can? Great. Great. I'm not going to rant about Impact here, by the way. I mean, I will rant about some stuff from the past, but not anything recent. But this is going to be stuff that some I've ranted about before, some I haven't ranted about as much. Some that, maybe I'd forgotten about in the previous series, which I did in 21 parts. So that's quite a bit. 15 to 20 minutes is what the time allotted will be for these videos. So once I get to about 15 minutes, I'll start to wrap it up and everything. And I hope you guys enjoy these rants. Long enough introduction. Let's get on with it. And we're starting off with Ed Ferrara, the disgusting, fat, worthless fuck as Oklahoma. Oh, and as WCW Cruiserweight Champion. The fact that nobody broke a chair over this guy's head repeatedly is just shocking beyond words. I don't know if he necessarily is a bad guy at heart. I do know that Jim Cornette can't stand him and actually, I believe, spit in his face. And that's all Ed Ferrara deserves. He deserved to actually have a spitting cobra spit in his face. So maybe he would have, understood what the pain felt like of making fun of JR and JR's Bell's palsy. Now, Vince, yes, has made fun of JR's ailments. The whole colonoscopy thing, the Dr. Heine thing, which, yes, I will cover later in this series because it was annoying. And yes, he's mocked JR's Bell's palsy. But the thing is Vince has also taken care. Has also taken care of JR. Has made sure that he's okay. Yes, everybody's open to, criticism and being made fun of. Vince himself will let himself be made fun of. What Ed Ferrara did was a personal attack. That was a personal fucking attack. Now, Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara were, head of creative pretty much, especially Vince. Vince Russo has apologized to JR for that happening. So Vince Russo is off the hook as far as that goes. Because if he actually meant it and made up with JR, okay, cool, whatever. Just from a fan's perspective, I remember watching this and be like, I want to hurt Ed Ferrara for this. He deserves to be smashed in the face with a brick. Like, I know that he's probably bitter because WWE let him go where he wanted to go or whatever. Oh, he's too stressed and he's too this kind of stuff. Ed Ferrara has, been part of some of the worst storylines and, came up with some of the worst angles, and one that I'm going to cover soon after this. He doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. He's a piece of shit. I'm glad he's out of the wrestling business. The wrestling business is better for him not being involved in it. And I don't care what the ratings were in the Monday Night Wars. I don't fucking care. Ed Ferrara is an embarrassment. Ed Ferrara is a fat, disgusting fucked up with a lousy-ass wrestler. Could never make it. And I never said that I could make it in wrestling. That's why I never got into it. But Ed Ferrara, an embarrassment to wrestling. An absolute scum of wrestling. And the whole Oklahoma character was ridiculous. And then he became Cruiserweight Champion at one point. What the fuck was this? The guy was probably 300 fucking pounds, and if he wasn't 300 pounds, he was goddamn close. That's when titles just really were meaningless. Now, don't get me wrong, in 1999, when they were tossing the WCW title around a lot, not nearly as bad as WCW 2000, when Russo made 15 WCW World Champions in 6 months, because Vince Russo's a fucking idiot that deserves every bit of hate that he gets, and I don't fucking care what anybody has to say. You can like Vince Russo all you damn well want. That's fine. You like him. Cool. It's a swerve, bro, because 15 champions makes it where you gotta tune in constantly. Even though the ratings were absolutely fucking going downhill. Now, back to Ed Ferrara. The fact that he was Cruiserweight Champion, the Cruiserweight title was pretty much dead by that point. Even though the Cruiserweight talent was great, I mean, there were some guys that had questionable characters. Kiwi. I don't know what in the world that was about. Mainly because they never fleshed out the character, and even though the guy was a great athlete, he never really got to do much of anything. Yeah, the freaking Cruiserweight title meant absolutely nothing. The fact that he was, the fact that he was making fun of Medusa, somebody that could kick his ass easily. No wonder Medusa wanted to leave the damn company. I would have wanted to leave the damn company. I remember when they poured barbecue sauce. I think he got barbecue sauce poured on him. I was actually hoping it was acid. I was hoping that he got scarred for life because that's what Ed Ferrara deserved. Ed Ferrara's a fucking idiot. And it's better that he's out of wrestling. So that is all I gotta say about Ed Ferrara. It's a good thing. Fuck Ed Ferrara. Not literally. Who the fuck would want to fuck Ed Ferrara? Sorry, you're a woman that wants to fuck Ed Ferrara. There's something wrong with you because you can find somebody better. Speaking of Ed Ferrara, something Jim Cornette talked about before and something I found disgusting. Terri Runnels. Remember when Terri Runnels was pregnant for a little bit and then they had a whole thing where she miscarried and the doctor was listening and they couldn't hear the baby's heartbeat anymore? Wow. Wow. And Ed Ferrara and I believe Russo had a hand in that. At least it wasn't the Mae Young hand thing, even though that turned out to be just comedy. But the Terri Runnels miscarriage thing. Now, that right there, she couldn't be kayfabe pregnant because Terry's a tiny little thing. So, and no offense to Terri Runnels. I mean, not knocking her. She's very passionate about the wrestling business. Should be in the WWE Hall of Fame for the long tenure she had in the business. Being Alexandria York, Marlena, and being a backstage interviewer for a while. But so any weight that she gained was going to be noticeable. She couldn't really gain weight. I mean, every woman gains weight when they're pregnant, even a little bit. And just the fact that they decided to do a miscarriage angle, what in the world was that about? Oh, it was just fucking embarrassing. What in the world? What in the world? There was no endgame. It didn't pop the ratings. It didn't do any of this stuff. What in the goddamn world? I will be right back, folks. So, back just after a little second. Terri Runnels miscarriage angle. This did nothing for Terri Runnels. This did nothing for anybody. What in the fucking Christ hell was this? I don't even know what insult I'm saying anymore. This was bad, and Ed Ferrara should have been fired on the spot for doing this. Now, I forget what it was. I think, and I actually remember this. Jim Cornette hit Baby Doll in the stomach area with the racket. And all the announcers said, if I recall right, was she's worried she might not be able to ever have children. That right there is as far as they needed to go. Okay, I mean, that like wasn't as far as, oh, the baby, you can't feel the baby's heartbeat anymore. Wow. Cool. I mean, that's what you're fucking doing? That is revolting. That's the kind of car crash shit that I hated in the Attitude Era. Because I actually liked quite a bit of the stuff in the Attitude Era. There was a lot of great ratings, a lot of great segments, a lot of memorable shit. But there was also a lot of really, really bad shit. And it's funny. Vince Russo gets all the credit. Or wants to take all the credit for all this stuff. But doesn't want to, for all the good stuff. Doesn't want to take credit for any of the bad stuff. I mean, what in the fuck is that? The Terri Runnels miscarriage angle was bad because it didn't serve any purpose. It didn't do any good for anybody. It was terrible. It was fucking terrible. An absolute embarrassment. And speaking of more embarrassing stuff that Vince Russo did, Beaver Cleavage. You took Chaz, Headbanger Mosh from the Headbangers, which wasn't a very good team either, but at least they were over. And turned him into a simple, Beaver Cleaver like thing where he was dressed up ridiculously. They had black and white vignettes. Had a blonde with a big chest. It was supposed to be his mother, but he liked his mother, and it was like the idea that he was that he loved his mother a little too damn much, and all this incestuous crap that was going on. And what in the world was the fucking point of this? What was the point of the Beaver Cleavage stuff? It didn't last very long because it didn't get over at all. I'm all for repackaging wrestlers and giving them a new character because you never know, that could work, breaking them out as a single star. I believe Thrasher at the time was injured anyway, so that was kind of the way of them, maybe giving him a chance repackaging him and giving him a chance to be another character on TV. This, you might as well just hand him his walking papers, hand him pink slips, say, here you go. That's what this was. This was embarrassing, and it got all the way to where it was implied abuse that he was beating his mother. This woman that was playing his mother, by the way. I'm not accusing the actual man of doing anything like that, as I certainly would hope not. But this was, what in the world? I mean, honest to fucking Christ, what in the world was this? Like, this just wasn't any good. I mean, it was in 1999. That's why I did it. And I did a series back about a year and a half ago. Recording all 18 parts in one day, by the way, because I was house sitting at the time. Times in wrestling, or not times in wrestling, but why 1999 sucked in wrestling. There was a lot of great things in 99. But I pointed out the bad stuff. I'm not always negative. To be honest, I'm doing this series as therapy because there's quite a bit of stuff that's really, 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 really good. In fact, I might even do a Times in Wrestling That Made Me Happy series. I started doing that. It didn't do very well, so I might revisit it at some point. You can check out part 1. I left up part 1 on my channel, but that's from like 2 years ago. But the Beaver Cleavage thing, the reason it angered me so much is Chaz, while maybe would never be more than maybe an IC title contender if you build him right, could have been something a hell of a lot more. And this damaged everybody. It damaged his reputation. They had to put him back with the Headbangers after Thrasher got back together. And then they put him in Lowdown with D'Lo Brown when Tiger Ali Singh was a manager. That went nowhere. It pretty much ruined his fucking career. And that's the one thing. One character can really ruin your career, especially if it's booked like shit. You can never get away from it no matter how hard you try, like Terry Taylor with the Red Rooster. Maybe Terry Taylor should have been less of a creep towards women, and then he might not be an embarrassment. An embarrassment to good Christians everywhere. And I'm not knocking people that are Christian, by the way. I just want to make that clear. It's people like him that say that they're that, yet there's all these allegations and even all these charges against him. Like, seriously, be less of a prick. But Beaver Cleavage. I just don't understand what the thought process was behind this, unless they hated the guy and just wanted to fucking make him, an embarrassment. Which I'm guessing was probably the thing, because Russo talks about how he wanted to help talents, and he helped so many talents. He helped like Jeff Jarrett. He did so many great things to help him out. Yeah, you made him a world champion when WCW was down. Yeah, congratulations. Beaver Cleavage, absolute embarrassment. Now we go to Sable. Just Sable. This is where I'm going to finish this up. I did a top 40 least favorite wrestlers series sometime last year. And spoiler alert, Sable was in the top 3. Because Sable didn't deserve to be in the wrestling business. She wasn't passionate about the wrestling business. She got paid over $1 million to be in Playboy. I'm sorry, if you wanted to see Sable's Playboy, good for you. I mean, why not just look at a naked Barbie doll? Because that's basically what Sable is. What she was, her and Brock are happy together. She's a mother. That's cool. Okay? I'm sorry, but Sable never deserved to be in the wrestling business. She couldn't talk. Oh, people are like, she got big ratings. She got that kind of stuff. She got ratings from idiots. I mean, I'm sorry any of you guys that are watching this that like Sable. That's cool. I'm not calling you guys idiots. I'm just saying the vast majority of people didn't care at all. This just proved that no one cared about the wrestling. At all. What in the fuck was this? You're watching Sable. Oh, it's like all this is for all the ladies, or it's like ladies who want to be me and the men who come to see me. No, if any man comes to see you, sorry, he needs new eyes. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, look, again, her and Brock are happy. Cool, whatever. I don't care about Sable, the person, though she was a terrible cunt to a lot of the women. And you could just tell she didn't want to take any bumps. She was worried about getting her back hurt. Well, Sable, spending time on your back is the only way you would have stayed in wrestling, because it sure as hell wasn't your talent. Because you had no talent. Of course, Sable's never going to watch this, because Sable probably doesn't even know how to turn on a TV. Because she sure as hell didn't know how to cut a damn promo. She sure as hell didn't know how to wrestle. She sure as hell couldn't bump. Oh, she did the Sable bomb. Yeah, she did the Sable bomb and nearly dropped her husband on her head. Well, on his head. Even though, she pretty much made Mark Marrow her bitch that night. And look, not knocking Mark Marrow. The guy's doing some great motivational speaker stuff. The guy was a really good athlete. It's just, his WWE career didn't end up panning out at all. That was absolutely atrocious. You had 15, 120 pound Sable bomb, power bomb Mark Marrow, and it's like, okay, that pretty much ruined his career. I mean, he wasn't with the company much longer in the 99. Just watching Sable is like the reason I actually compared Eva Marie to Sable. I will give Eva Marie this much credit. At least at the end of her career, she was, end of her WWE run, she was at least trying to take some bumps. She wasn't any good at it. She shouldn't have tried to be a wrestler, but at least she tried to take some bumps. She was this generation's Sable, though, without a doubt, because she was never a wrestler, never should have been a wrestler, was never any good, and that's all I gotta say about that. I'll cover Eva Marie in another video. But Sable is just somebody where you're watching and you're like, why? You look back on it and you're like, okay, cool. Oh, she had handprints on her tits. Wow. Her fucking tits were, if you held up a damn lighter to them, they would have gone up in flames. Or if you poked them with a pin, psh. She was a fake, ugly ass whore. That's really what Sable was. And it's fine. Again, fine. If you guys like her, cool. I'm not going to knock people that actually think that Sable's attractive. If you find her attractive, great. I don't. I would rather eat glass. I didn't even find Sable attractive back when the Attitude Era first happened. And that was back, I mean, of course, there was no social media back then, but that was back in what, like, she came out in 96? She was there for 96, 99, and then sued the company for sexual harassment and this kind of stuff. And then came back to the company in 2003, 2004 as a cougar. Who the fuck would have wanted an older, worn down, probably Arby's roast beef looking type woman down there like Sable? I mean, not as bad as Mia Khalifa, or however the hell you pronounce her name, the dumbass whore that she is. Jim Cornette actually said it the best about Sable. I don't know what they got for putting a live microphone in front of Sable, but it should have been 3 to 5 years. It was an embarrassment. And it was an embarrassment. It's like, not everybody's going to be Roddy Piper, Steve Austin, Flair, Dusty, Superstar Billy Graham, The Rock, various other people on promos. But if you can't even carry a little bit of interest, you shouldn't be in the wrestling business. She got by on her looks. That's it. She got by for picking the best plastic surgeon. That's all Sable was good at. Because it sure as hell wasn't her wrestling ability. It sure as hell wasn't the fact that she could cut a promo. She had no passion for the goddamn business. And she was an embarrassment. An absolute embarrassment. And then you go to the 2003-2004 run. Her and Tori in a bit of a gay relationship. Nothing against that. Look, hey, women like each other, cool. Actually, I think that more people should be open about who they like. Guys should be open if they like, if they like other guys. Women should be open if they like other women. That's not it. It just felt so forced and felt so ridiculous on that particular, during that particular time. It was pretty damn ridiculous. But yeah, Sable's just absolute shit. That's really all I gotta say about that. If you guys want to hear even more about what I said about Sable, also check out the top 40 least favorite wrestler show. It'll be the last show, the 3 through 1. And you can hear what even more what I said about Sable. But that's going to end this one. And I'm going to really start off the next one with a bang. But anyway, do you agree or disagree with what I said? What do you guys think so far? Are you guys enjoying the series? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Twitter links in the description. Remember, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.